Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello, everybody. Lewis, Norwich City Central. I hope you're all doing well. Norwich versus Brighton predicted XI. Hope you're all doing well. In this video, we're going to be predicting the team for Norwich's game against Brighton Saturday at 12:30 kickoff, and then I'm going to be having some of your guys' thoughts as well on the channel after that really disappointing and quite embarrassing loss to Arsenal. So yeah. If you do want to interact with me, I will leave the socials in the description on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Really big week for Daniel Farke coming up. If you look at Norwich City's next three games, Brighton at home, who are I think are 15th in the league. You then got Watford away, who are sitting in 17th in the league. I think Watford are 7 points above Norwich, and then you've got West Ham at home. So look, Norwich City's hopes of staying up are all but over now. But three really winnable games, and just for the future of Daniel Farke, you want to see these players, give 110% effort and show that they really care and fight for this club, because we're not just playing for this season now, we're playing for next season. If some of the players like Vrancic and Marcus Stupin aren't played, is that going to affect the dressing room? 100%. We've seen in numerous other seasons and numerous other clubs when there's a few unhappy players in the dressing room, it really does affect the whole team. And what's so magical about that championship season was the harmony in the dressing room, and you sense there was a real bond. And Daniel Farke needs to make sure he doesn't lose that if it's already been lost. So yeah, a big week for Daniel Farke, and let's just hope Norwich City can get some wins on the board to regain that confidence and show that we are a good team and we're a team that can fight, because that's, as Norwich City fans, at least we deserve. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below and score predictions coming up against Brighton, who are coming off the back of relatively good form, obviously beating Arsenal 2-1. They got a good draw against Leicester and then lost to Man United. Brighton were a team who looked like they could have got relegated alongside us, although they are in a position now where you feel they probably just need one more win and they probably will be safe. But nevertheless, it is still a big game for Brighton. In terms of the predicted XI in goal, Tim Krul, who had an absolute stinker, probably one of his worst games in his career against Arsenal, and ironically that was coming off the back of probably one of his best games of his career against Man United, where he made save after save after save. For me, Tim Krul's an excellent goalkeeper, and you're going to see those mistakes once every few seasons, if that, or maybe once or twice in his career. So I feel for Tim Krul, but he's an experienced leader, and I know he'll be able to pick himself up and go again. In terms of a back four, we haven't got too many alternatives. As we said in the recruitment, we really should have signed some more centre-backs and possibly another full-back as well, because we've always been light in that area. But a back four of Jamal Lewis, Ben Godfrey, Tim Closer and Max Aarons. Thought Ben Godfrey's really improved in the last couple of weeks after a really disappointing display, which he said in his own thoughts up against Southampton. He almost scored one of the goals of the season, and one of the best goals I've ever seen from a Norwich City perspective. What a strike from Ben Godfrey against Arsenal, and it's just those moments where if Norwich City go in front, it could be a whole different game. But no, really impressed with Ben Godfrey. Tim Close is going to come back after his red card against Man United. Completely understand him making that red card. I feel like he had to do it. And then the fullbacks, Jamal Lewis and Max Aarons. I feel Max is someone who, despite a lot of negative Norwich City performances, Max is someone who's still shown that he's putting in these good performances, and Jamal as well on the other side, a young fullback who shows what he's all about. So I think I'm happy with that back line. As I said, Norwich City defensively, our defensive shape is reasonably okay. It's just we concede such fragile. We're so fragile, and we concede such easy goals. We can be bossing a game, we can look comfortable, our shape can be good, and then just one corner can outdo us, and then we're on the back foot. So, but nevertheless, that's a good back line. Two central defensive midfielders, move Alex Tettey up there and Mario Vrancic alongside him. Starting with Tettey, I was a big fan of his post-match interview. We've been looking for accountability, and we've been looking for responsibility from the people at the top to say, what, this isn't good enough. We accept that, but we're trying our best. That's all you can ask for: honesty and transparency. And when Alex Tettey came out of his interview against Arsenal and said, I'm okay playing at centre back, I'm okay playing at midfield, I'm quite happy to play in goal. I just love the Norwich City team and want to play. That shows what a fantastic guy he is, and why Alex Tettey should be regarded as a Norwich City legend, or certainly someone very high in that regard. Alex Tettey is one of the few players who I think has had a really good season for Norwich City this season. He's been at the club for 8 years, and without a doubt, he's one of the most passionate and one of the most respected members in that dressing room. Alex Tettey is a great player and a really good guy as well. And getting back in that central defensive midfield role, where he's best and where no Norwich City player in the last 5 years can really take his spot. And alongside him, Mario Vrancic. I mean, I'm one of the big lovers of Super Mario, as some of the regular watchers of this channel will know. And as I said, I think Kenny McLean's done okay, but it's absolutely criminal how Mario Vrancic has not been given more game time. And as I've said, would Mario really want to be here, knowing his quality and knowing so many of his crucial goals got us to the Premier League? Is he actually happy at Norwich City, considering he's barely had any game time, and he's deserved an opportunity? I would not be happy if I was Mario, and I could totally understand why, if he doesn't want to sign his new contract. He's got to be given more game time. He's one of the most talented midfielders I think we've had at this club for a long while, and someone who's deserved an opportunity. And he's only had one league start as well since in 2020, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And I think if we did have someone like Mario Vrancic on the point, on the pitch, who can score crucial free kicks, who score so many crucial goals in the Championship, I'm not saying we'd be safe from relegation, but I think we'd have a few more points than 21 on the board. It was evident in one of his last league games when he played against Tottenham, obviously scoring that goal, and playing one of the best assists. Although Pukki's goal was ended up being ruled out for a ridiculous VAR decision, we know he's got so much quality and he deserves an opportunity to show it. Three central attacking midfielders for me: Onel Hernandez on the left, Todd Cantwell through the middle, and Emi Buendia on the right. If you look at Emi Buendia, he's someone who hasn't really performed too well since coming back from lockdown. On his days, one of the most talented and most magnificent Norwich City footballers. The things he can do on a ball are absolutely scary, and I think a lot of big clubs are going to certainly look at him. But his price tag's probably dropped, obviously since the lockdown, and his poor performances as well. But he's someone who can, produce one moment of magic, and he's someone who's got to be in the team. Todd Cantwell through the middle. He did play through the middle for a part in that Arsenal game. If you look at Todd Cantwell's interviews, he has said he prefers playing through the middle. Obviously, he scored that wonderful goal against Man United, picking the ball up from 25 yards out and shooting, with a magnificent effort. So I think Todd Cantwell through the middle is something I want to see from now till the end of the season. And we'll be very lucky to keep hold of Todd, because he's a magnificent player and a really, really good guy. And Hernandez on the left, he's someone who's got to start. His pace is epic. And when we play Onel Hernandez, we always seem to put teams on the back foot. And he's been one of our better players since coming back from lockdown. And I'm a big fan of Daniel Farke, but his team selections has been wrong. Of course, you don't want to see managers being sacked for silly things. And I'm a big fan of Farke. So although his team selections haven't been the best, he's the man to keep at Norwich City, in my opinion, 100%. And up front, for me, it's got to be 19-year-old Adam Idah. Josip Dermic has been terrible since for a long while now at Norwich City. Teemu Pukki is a fantastic footballer and someone who I want to stay at Norwich City for many years. He's a lovely guy, and without him, we probably wouldn't even be in the Premier League. But he needs to have a break. We all know that. Pukki's just not been nowhere near the levels he has before. But I do feel for Pukki, because the service for him has been non-existent. It really, really has. So Pukki's been feeding off, scraps completely. It feels like, I'm trying to think of a good metaphor for him. It's almost like a seagull in a forest with no food. He's got no scraps to deal with whatsoever. So Adam Idah deserves an opportunity. He looks hungry, he looks fit. His pace looks like it could cause teams problems, and Adam Idah is going to be a big part of Norwich City's future, in my opinion, particularly in the medium term. So let's get him some game time. Let's get him an opportunity to start, and let's see what he's all about, because he could be a big player to come if Norwich City are in the Championship. So that'd be my team to face Brighton. Obviously 12:30 kickoff. Brighton are a tough team. They're a good passing team, similar to Norwich City, a similar philosophy with a good manager. But Brighton, although they've played this good style of football, similar to Norwich, they haven't really been able to score too many goals with it, and haven't probably showed that Premier League experience to see off games. But they're a good team, and it's going to be a tough game for Norwich. Just finishing off with a few of your comments now. As I said, you can follow me on Instagram at Norwich City Central. Connor Warren said, a huge sucker punch to the confidence for sure. I could really understand the team's frustration. Completely against Arsenal. Although I wouldn't say it was our most complete performance, defensively we was great, and the energy levels we showed should have given the team confidence. But as we've shown with Norwich City, we're fragile. We can perform okay in a game and then one goal, and were on the back foot, and that was evident against Arsenal when we conceded 2 quick-fire goals. So yeah, it's a huge sucker punch, but let's hope Norwich City can turn the tide. Javen Cook says, no passion was shown. Imagine when we play Man City on the last day of the season. Enough said. Yeah, Man City on the 27th of July, the last game of the season away. That does terrify me a bit. I'm having some nightmares already about that game. But no. Yeah, and then when we do go into losing positions, we've seen times when we haven't really shown the fight, and that's something which has got to change in this Norwich City team, and it's got to be part of our DNA in the future. Tom O'Brien says, shocking team again, lack of fight, need to change tactics when it isn't working. To be fair to Farke, I did think we changed tactics slightly in the second half of the Arsenal game. We went to a back three, and it did work for 15 minutes, but you need to start games, games are 90 minutes, and you need to start with the right team, and you need to start well for the full 90. And against Brighton, I just want to see us attack. I want to see Norwich City have only scored, 2 open play goals in 2020. That is shocking. That is abysmal. So I want to see Norwich City attack games. And we love Daniel Farke because he's a great attacking-minded manager. Let's attack games from now to the end of the season. Let's start players like Vrancic who deserve an opportunity. Let's start Buendia and Cantwell and Hernandez together, and let's see what we're all about. Josh says, still possible to do it, but if he keeps playing Dermot and not Idah and Mario, it's not. Yeah, I think Adam and Mario have got to be given an opportunity. And let's finish with Ollie Parton, who says, nothing to say, Championship has been coming for a while, need to see fight and passion. Yeah, that's it. I disagree with people saying that this Norwich City team show no effort. I think they do, but we've seen that there's no belief when they go a goal down. 19 games they've gone 1-0 down and they lost every single one. That is absolutely abysmal. I think the only game in which we turned it around was Tottenham in the FA Cup. Yeah, this Norwich City team need to show some fight and passion when they go a goal down. And if we can show a bit of fight, if the players do show they are really working for Daniel Farke, then we've got a chance of perhaps a good future with him. But yeah, it's a big week for Daniel Farke, and let's hope the players can get on side and the fans can be turned on side as well, because there's nothing worse than when you lose the fans. It's always a tough place to get back round. But that would be my team, as I said. I think for me, you've got to start Mario Vrancic instead of Kenny McLean. You've got to have Ono Hernandez. Let's just attack these last games, and let's try and play the Daniel Farke way, which got us to the Championship with attacking players, and let's try and get a few goals and put a few smiles on the people of Norfolk and Norwich City fans. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. I will get back to you. Subscribe to Norwich City Central, and I'll see you later.